In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Hello, viewers around the world. Good day to you, wherever you may be. It's morning here in Milan, Italy. And my name is Godwin Iweajuwan. We're here on our Friday news update called World Affairs. Yes, World Affairs. You're welcome to Friday World Affairs. And I'm here with my colleagues, coordinators from different parts of the world. In Lagos, Nigeria is Ogbeni Olayinka Raji. Raji, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, viewers around the world. Welcome to our Friday program.
Welcome to our Friday program. Yes, I hope it's not raining as it was like a month ago. Is it still raining in Lagos?
Well, it is not. It is bright and sunny this morning, and we are enjoying the weather. Yes, no rain yet.
No rain yet. Okay, but the rain is good if it's not over. If it doesn't stretch more than necessary. I mean, it helps farmers. It helps also clean up some dirt. It refreshes the environment. What do you think, Raji?
Yes. Yes. Too much of everything is bad.
Too much of everything is bad.
Yeah. Yes.
And also because our drainage system in Nigeria is not too is not well arranged. So when there's rain, you have that clog, that water log, and it brings that flooding and causes problems everywhere.
Interestingly, the first rains that came earlier in the week challenged the drainage system of Lagos, but within 5 hours, everything was dry. All the flood had been taken care of, and since then we've not had any threat of flooding.
Oh, good. Yes. We really don't want those threat of flooding, because some of the videos we see on social media, people sleeping inside waterlogged houses. I mean, it's very pathetic. Okay, Raji, let's go into what we've come to do while we also await some of our colleagues. Viewers, you're welcome. This is Friday, 12th of July, 2024, and we're here on our Friday World Affairs. Reggie, there's a sad news that we've been following from the UK. I don't know if you've also been following that. There's a story of somebody using a crossbow. Yes, like a bow, bow you use to shoot arrow.
Yes.
So there's this specially built one they have, and somebody used it to go and kill his girlfriend, the girlfriend mother, and the girlfriend's sister. So it's a very serious story.
Very sad.
Going on. Yes. The young man's name is called Clifford. Clifford is a former soldier, 26-year-old former soldier. He is believed to have done all of this single-handedly, only him. So what did he do? He tied up the girlfriend's mother, Carol. You see on the screen there, 61-year-old woman, and the sister, Hannah, 28-year-old girl, lady, and the girlfriend, Louise Hunt, 25 years old girl, and tied them up for some time and fired that crossbow at them, killed them. The thing went into some of the mother's heart, went into this, terrible news, Raji.
Yeah.
Terrible news.
Terrible,
yes, this is what we are hearing. It's a terrible news. They believe that the young man, Clifford, is the sole suspect in this whole thing. Looks like it's just him that did it, and that's his picture there. Nice looking young man, beautiful, handsome looking, but look at what he has done. I mean, this is very gruesome.
Yeah.
Raji.
Yeah.
Raji, tell me,
My
what do you know?
condolences to the family.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very painful way to go. Very, very
Mm.
painful way to go. Yes. And I hope they didn't suffer too long before the end came to them. It is terrible. My
Oh,
condolences to them. Whatever thoughts that might have been going on in the head and heart of this young man, it's a terrible thought
it's a terrible
for him to
thought. Now,
think. Yes.
yes. Now,
It is.
he has not been charged. He has not been
Okay.
charged yet, because they still want to. Because he hurt himself too. He fired at himself.
Uh-oh.
He fired that same crossbow at himself. So what they are doing for now is making sure he recuperates. He fired the same shot at his chest. So he's being treated in a London hospital under police guide. Probably when he's now together, they will now read the charges against him. But one thing I know that could lead to this, like the story in some media homes in the UK is saying, is that the girl told him she wanted out. She wanted to end the relationship, and probably, and they say it's about 8 to 9 year relationship they've been together, and the girl said no, she wants to go out. So probably what we are thinking again, why the mother and the sister of the girl could be involved, could be killed too, was probably they were the one telling her, what are you doing with this guy? You know how women can talk. What are you doing
Yes.
with this guy? What are you people doing? This guy is not good enough for you. You know, I mean, I'm guessing, but that's how most times situations like this play out. For him to have
Yes.
added these two ladies, the sister and the mother, it's terrible. It's gruesome.
Very
And you
terrible.
know something, Raji, also, this is a family. This is the wife of a prominent BBC broadcaster.
Wow.
Yes, he's a prominent BBC broadcaster called something Hot. I'm trying to get his name. So he's a staff with BBC, and now all his family, all of them, the three
Gone.
family he has, the two daughters and his wife, taken out at once. So we, yes, we need to check this, even though it's coming as a news, but it's something we need to have people know that some people are going through so much. This mental sickness,
Mental health issues.
yes, is becoming very serious, Raji. I mean, many years ago, no, a young man wouldn't do this. You wouldn't just take arrow and shoot your in-laws, your family, and everybody.
Yes.
So, what will you say about mental illness, Raji?
Well, honestly, I think it's being exacerbated by the economics of the situation. You know, what prices are going up since after the COVID restrictions. There have been a lot of issues coming up.
Issues
The
coming up.
world economy has nosedived. Earnings have stayed constant. Meanwhile, the cost of living has risen so rapidly. So people are challenged in so many ways, and where there are no sufficient social network to cushion the effect of those economics. I think it's for some people it's easy for them to just give up and then become seriously depressed or affected in so many ways. And it's
Yes.
also
So,
necessary that we should be talking to each other. We should be
okay.
talking more to each other because they are, for most men, their challenges are so repressed that they find it difficult to express themselves even to their fellow friends. And therefore, suddenly something erupts and you start, wow, was this guy going through such pressures and didn't say anything about it? You see?
But one thing is, One thing
Go
is,
ahead, man.
people, yes, humanity, generally, everybody's going through one pressure or the other, you know.
Yes.
But what we do is, sometimes it is this anxiety, anxiousness. We take it to the limit, you know. You become over anxious. You want this, you want that, you know. All these comparison, also trying to compare ourselves with our mates or our friends, our people around. So anxiety comes in before you know, the mind is playing game on the person. So little thing, little offense, you exacerbate, you blow it up, take it more than necessary. So that is one thing. Nobody is excluded from one negative situation or the other, you know. Yes, but we all manage to control it and keep hoping for the best. Anyway, viewers, that's it. Right there in the UK is this very sad story. A young man called Clifford, a retired soldier, is believed to have killed his girlfriend, 25-year-old Louise Hart, the sister Anna Hart, the mother Carol, 61-year-old, and they are all the family of a BBC staff. It's called Mr. Hart. So it's a serious issue. We're still waiting to know what the outcome will be, the charges and every other thing. But for now, the man he didn't die, but he's held in the hospital under some strong police guard, and they just want him to recuperate, and they will begin. Okay, so Raji, let's come back home a little. Raji, the Kenyan issue is still going very strong, very strong. But as at yesterday, there's some occurrences are happening. The Kenyan president Ruto dissolved all his cabinets. Raji, you had that news? He dissolved all of them, all his cabinets. He dismissed with immediate effect. He said, all cabinets dismissed, dissolved the entire cabinet, and this is coming as a result of that intense anti-government protest. So this is what we're following. Ruto has dissolved all his cabinets, and he said, for now, we're still looking. He says, but it doesn't affect the deputy president, and I think it doesn't affect the foreign affairs secretary, diaspora secretary, cabinet secretary, and the vice president. It doesn't affect them, but every other cabinet official dissolved with immediate effect. Raji, you think it's you think this will help bring some solution to what is going on, to the protests?
At least Ruto is showing that he's is being responsive to the demands of the people, because he owes his position as the president of Kenya to the vote of the people, and he must listen to the voice of the people. I think he's showing some responsiveness, and that is commendable. That is commendable, and I'm sure that he is going to take some steps that to ameliorate all the situations that brought out the protest. Now, I wish him the very best. Yes.
Okay. So, but do you really think dissolving this cabinet will help bring the solution? Because the youth and the protesters, they're asking for a lot anyway, a lot. First of all, the tax bill that came, he has reversed that. Now also they are saying that the cost of living generally is very high in Kenya. The youth are saying there are no jobs and the cost of living is very high. So is it about dissolving your cabinet or looking for a team of financial gurus that could come and sit down and look into the economic situation, how to mend it and balance it and all that? Probably if the bank has to print some money and all that. What do you say, Jiraji? Do you think that
at least he's taking some steps? What if he didn't say anything? Yes, he has taken some steps. He has known that maybe the team that he formed earlier, members of his cabinet, we're still doing business as usual and need to be shaking.
And needs to be shaken.
Yes, I'm sure he's building up another team that will take over the responsibility that has been taken from the other people. At least he's responsive. It's quite different from the Nigerian situation where the more the public protest, shout, the worse things go.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
So he's responsive. Is
at least responsible? Yes.
Yes. Okay. While we're discussing, our coordinator from Russia, Moscow, Russia just bumped in. Dr. Godwin Ibe, you're welcome to Friday World Affairs.
Thank you for having me, and thank you viewers for tuning in.
Thank you. Yeah, let's do it. So, yes, we just said some few things before you came. Maybe we'll just bring back one. One is that the Kenyan situation is still going on. Several people are still being killed as protesters march through Nairobi, through different corners, requesting for, now they've gotten some of what they are looking for, but they are still marching on. So one of the proceeds from that protest, Dr. Godwin, is that Ruto yesterday dissolved all his cabinet, all members of his team, except the vice president, the foreign affairs secretary, and they say, I think, the diaspora affairs secretary. So do you think, like I just asked Raji, do you think dissolving all the cabinet is the solution, or looking for a strategic team of people that will look into this thing they are asking, the protesters are asking? They are saying the cost of living is high, there are no jobs, do you think the dissolving cabinet is the solution?
No, how can dissolving cabinet be the solution? It can only be a step in the possibly right direction. Obviously, he has done a couple of things combined together that are not right, to be able to motivate the public to be united, irrespective of their different tribes, religion, beliefs, school of thought, to come together and unify against him. He must be doing so many things wrong. And of course, that does not exclude allowing external interference. He was just declared a major non-NATO ally, and the next day he sees protesters as his doorstep. All those pandering to external forces, they don't help Africa. The best you could do is, if you were pandering to everybody, I would agree. I would accept that, in the sense that you're allowing competition between geopolitical powers so that they could offer the best possible offer to you, and you get to choose. In this case, you are being smart and playing your cards well. But when you're pandering to one particular...
Raji said something earlier. He said he's being responsive. I mean, he's reacting, responding back.
Yes.
Raji, is that not what you said? Raji, go ahead, say that again.
Yes.
He's
responding to demand,
a little too late.
He's showing that he's listening. Yes,
a little too late, in the sense that if he was seen as responsive, the strike would not have happened in the first place. People would have done it in an oral way or a written way, or sent a representative. He has shown that he's not responsive, and he's now at the late stage trying to be responsive. A little too late. So we have to draw that distinction.
Okay, that's another one.
What if he didn't respond at all? Like our Nigeria situation, where the more we cry, the worse things become.
Things could get worse. I didn't say that's the worst thing that could happen. Things obviously could get worse, and we are talking about a way out. A way out is to focus on domestic interest, and basically domestic interest, domestic policy. Foreign policy, needs to be improved, but mostly domestic policy, controlling inflation, improving employment, utilization of national resources for Kenyans, and trying to take advantage of their competitive advantages. For example, tourism, minerals. Focus on developing that. That's where you get more jobs. And of course, relationship with other neighboring African countries, improve relationship to improve cross-border trade. in African countries.
I was a discreet listener in the Twitter space that was arranged by the youth. And interestingly, he was there. He came. They called him out and he came. And if we were many, you had close to 1 million people on that Twitter space. Now, listen to this. He did some impressive thing. That's why I'm agreeing to what Raji said. He right there, spontaneous actions. He did some things. He said jobs are going to be opened up. He even gave some people jobs. You know, some of the youths that were in that Twitter space that complained that they've been out of school, they don't have anything. He called them and said, listen, come to next week. They're starting some recruitment. Then he also did some other things like calling out some of his officers that were not doing the right thing. So responsiveness when people react is good. That's why I'm staying with.
But we are saying the same thing. I'm not saying he's not responsible. I'm saying it's a little too late. Now you don't give.
It's not late.
I mean,
it's not late at all.
Earlier. Why? I mean, it's. I mean,
he couldn't have been preemptive. You see, maybe he was shielded from what was happening, and suddenly
you're talking like as if there have been no cost already paid. If there's no price paid for this responsiveness, I will agree with you. People have died, lives have been lost, property has been destroyed. There's a cost to this is years. And it's sounding like desperation. And please, and first of all, the behavior itself, responding late after cost, significant costs have been paid. That's the first thing I'm against. The second thing is that you don't give people fish. You give people the rod to fish or the pond. You can't say because somebody called you to a sport. You now say, okay, you don't worry. Come next week, I'll give you a job. You have done absolutely nothing. That's a small fraction of the problem. What about the people who didn't get to meet you? You create the opportunity, the system for jobs.
Dr. Gordon,
you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Dr. Gordon, it's like somebody who is dying is been given a bit of water, and now you expect that you should have given a meal. A whole buffet of meal. The man is responding. Give him that. Yes, the man is responding.
I agree. Responding. I think we agree on that. The only thing I will not agree with is he responded early enough. That's when I disagree. We're not saying he's not responding. I didn't even talk about timing. I thought that when the situation arose. That might have shocked him.
And Godwin, another thing Raji is doing is comparing with Nigeria, for example.
With the Nigerian situation.
People will kill themselves. The number of people that will die in Nigeria, the government will pretend as if, you know. So that's where Raji is coming from too. You know,
yes, we agree on that. We agree on that, obviously. The only thing I'm saying is that Kenya, I've been to Kenya. I've been to Kenya myself. I've been to Nairobi. It's such a lovely place, and I really it touches me in my heart when I see this thing. Obviously, you know, just like Nigeria.
Okay, let's stay on Africa, on that part of Africa also. There's a word called Afrophobia. Afrophobia is a new coinage that they use now because some people are probably afraid of Africa uniting and becoming a strong force. So I want us to look at it like this. The other day, I don't know if you guys had it, the Nigerian billionaire Aliko Dangote complained that he faces more obstacle traveling around Africa than traveling to Europe or other parts of the world. So we're looking at this situation where Africa themselves are the one becoming a major obstacle, stumbling block to our own success, our unity, our everything, you know, by putting very strong blockade in our borders around traveling and all that. So, guys, what do you say? It's just a small thing I'm bringing up now. I know we've not talked about this. What will you talk about? What will you say about Afrophobia? Afrophobia, the need for Africa to unite, be together in movements, in our borders, in everything. What will you say about this? Let me start with Raji.
You know, You know, before borders were created, in fact, at every border, you see that between Benin Republic and Nigeria, for instance, the people across both borders are relatives. They speak the same language. The borders are artificial, but that has now divided them. It has not divided them. Sometimes when you are at a flower, for instance, between Ghana and Togo, they speak the same languages across the place. And in fact, the people of Togo and the people of Volta region speak the same language. They are relatives. Those borders were arbitrarily, and they were artificial. But then they have been steeped in their consciousness, such that we even have difficulty moving clearly, easily between ourselves. That is between neighboring states. Not the talk of going from Nigeria to Cameroon, or from Nigeria to say like Kenya, where you have to go and queue at the embassy to get a visa. So there should be no visa restrictions between African countries. There should be no visa restrictions. Okay. Yes.
So that's it. Afrophobia. So that's what we're saying.
Why I haven't spoken?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm not sure I agree with that terminology. I have not seen real evidence for Afrophobia. Afrophobia will mean the fear of Africans. People do not fear us, or neither do people wish us bad because we are Africans, just because we're Africans. It's not true. It's neocolonialism. It's our resources they're after, not us. They don't mind us. They don't care about us. But we are sitting on valuable resources, and it's those resources that more high value producing economies or advanced economies are interested in those resources, and we are just in the way. And the more they can keep us divided to get access to those resources, and in whatever way, if we can make it easier for them to get access to those resources, they will love us. They will be in bed with us. They will call us all of sweet names, even major allies, if necessary, to get to those resources. So I do not agree with that, and I see it as neocolonialism, which is being not paying adequate price for our resources and making enough steps to prevent us from being united on one front to have control over our resources and improve regional trade. So that's why I don't agree with the terminology. The opposite of that neocolonialism will be what we call Pan-Africanism, which is a lot of people are into, and is quite popular today.
Okay, so you don't agree with that terminology, but what we're saying in essence is the same thing, even though probably the coinage terminology might be differ. What we're saying is Africa should open its border among itself, increase movement, stop this, because that's what they are doing here in the West. Europe, for example, you're an Italian, you're German, you can go the whole of Europe just because you're Italian. So why do we block ourselves and hold back ourselves? And really, like Raji said, when there's that movement, there's progress, there's productivity, there's increase in everything. You know,
yes, they should. They should, but it's not just like a. I've said it so many times on this show. Yes, they should, but it's not something you just wake up one day and do. Right? There are steps. There are steps. There are levels of integration. There are levels of integration. First, you have the trade. You have the economic. You have the currency. You have the political integration to allow free labor. Because when you allow free movement, you allow actually free movement of labor and capital, and you have to take it procedurally to get to the final stage, which we all want. But it's not just as easy as opening borders. While Africa is Africa itself is a migration because of the level of development and the need for Africans to migrate to more advanced economies because of the loss of hope back home. There are some sports that are doing relatively worse than others.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
true.
we have to find a way to level the ground. Otherwise, it will be invasion of one country to another. So we have to have that levels of integration before we get to that final stage that we all want. It's not as easy, as
it is. That's very good. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Let's go on a small break. We more things to discuss, and Russia, please stay on hold. We need to really get some updates from your end. Thank you.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Yes. We're back. Viewers, you tune in to our Friday update program, World Affairs, Global World Affairs. A lot is happening, but we know we what we do is put things in one line for everybody to understand, because as much as those things are happening, one could be taken off, carried away, and you might not even understand what the news and what occurrences are happening. So I hope Godwin is there, Raji is there. We have to come up with our updates. There's still situations going on, gentlemen. There's still situations going on. There is NATO and China. NATO and China is still brewing. NATO has accused China of being a decisive enabler of the Russian war on Ukraine. NATO says that Russia, actually there is a communique issued, and there are some highlights they gave. Number one is they are accusing China of these things. Number one of what they're accusing China of is that, Raji, are you there? Yes. We've come to some international world updates again. Yesterday in Washington, D.C., there was a summit, and the NATO allies came together and accused China of being, they used the word decisive enabler. They say China is an enabler of the war between Russia and Ukraine. So they gave out a communique about, I think that communique was about 10, but the ones I remember is these ones. I remember one of it was that China is an enabler of the war, and is doing that through no limit, what they tagged no limit partnership and supporting of Russia in that war. No limit partnership, they said, was what Russia and China is doing behind closed doors. They also said that one of the things they said is China is enabling that war so that because it has some impact, some gain on it. And they say, and this gain is negatively impacting the interests of the other side. So a lot of communique was put out, but the main thing there is NATO accuses China of being an enabler, decisive enabler in this war. So, gentlemen, I know it's a hard one, but let's talk about it. Raji, you're laughing already. So let me hear you. What's
it's quite. I really hope that the leadership of the US is not affecting the mentality of NATO.
Okay.
Because Biden being so geriatric, I don't think he gets his facts very, very clear.
Hold your peace, hold your peace.
Yes.
Viewers, please, one of our members, the board of trustee of SSM, lost the husband, and that's Obuk's Ibru. So Obuk Ibru's husband passed away very sadly, and today is the service of song in Apapa. So one of our correspondents also, Bidi Nana, is right there in Apapa to represent on our behalf, be with Obuks, and also give us small insight of what is happening. Oh, she's gone now. Okay, she came in. When she comes in again, we will bring her in to tell us how the service of song is going and the burial events of our BOT member, Obuks Ibru. Go ahead, Raji. Go ahead.
So I'm surprised that America haven't financed and burdensomely started wars all over the world, is now pointing accusing finger, one wrinkled finger at China about China and Russia cooperating. I don't see why they should even accuse China of anything. And then I don't see why they want to make anybody who associates with China with Russia as a devil.
Okay, let's hear. Reggie, okay, hold on, hold tight.
Okay.
We'll come to you. Let's hear from Bidi. Bidi, how are you? Yes, we can hear you. So, how is the event going on there? Tell the viewers, please. Tell the viewers.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Yes, we can
Good morning.
hear you.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Go on.
Go on.
Go on.
Hello?
Go on. We can hear you.
Yeah.
But go on.
It's okay. Good day, everyone. I'm actually at St. Andrew's Anglican Church in Apapa, Marie Road, Apapa, for the commendation services of Engineer Eme, the husband of one of our own who just passed on. They had the service of song yesterday, and they are having the commendation service here in here. Because of noise, I have to come out of the church. So that's what is actually ongoing there. And I've seen Obu, and when she saw me, she was really, really happy that we actually came to be with her in this prior time. So the commendation service is ongoing here now. So
thank you.
To ask, you can ask me.
Yes, we are happy you're there, Bidi. Thank you very much for representing SSM. Thank you for the effort and all you've done so far. Now, we want to know, what's the event exactly? Is this the burial proper? What's this event going on? Is this a burial proper?
It's the burial procession has actually started. It's the burial procession, but not the burial. The burial will be taking place in a Delta state. That's this weekend. This is just a commendation services. They had a service of song yesterday, and they're having a commendation service in Anglican Church, St. Andrew Anglican Church here in Apapa. That's actually what it is. So after this, the burial proper will be taking place in Delta State.
Thank you very much. Okay, gentlemen, I don't know if you have anything for BD. You're free to ask Raji and Godwin. Go ahead.
Yeah. We are with the family on this, and our condolences to the family.
Our condolences to the family. May he so rest in peace.
Thank you.
So BD, I didn't get that question very well.
Yeah, they are sending their condolences. Raji said he condolence to the family. Send our condolence to the family, and same from Godwin. So please, tell the family, tell Obuks we're with her, and you've just done a great one by coming live on the portal here. And yes, thank you very much.
It's okay, they will hear. There's a clip I posted on. There's a clip I posted on the platform, so you people can run it.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that now. Thank you very much. So take your time.
To
Give
do
us
what?
any. Yes, take your time. Give us any update that we need to follow.
To do what? I didn't get that question.
I said it's okay.
You know, here is very close to the sea, so the air here is too much. So the wave is actually delaying the questions. Can you come again?
Okay, no problem. Let's not ask too much questions since the audio is not working too well. What we're saying is thank you for being there. Represent us. Send our condolences to the family, and we're with you in prayers. Tell her also we're with her in prayers. Viewers, that's one of our...
I dropped a clip on the platform. You can play it for her.
Okay,
there's a clip on the platform. You can take it and...
Yes. I've just seen that now. Okay, we'll take it and play. Yes, we'll do that. Thank you. All right, Godwin. Yes, I think her network. Okay, let's hear. So we were discussing something, guys. China being a decisive enabler, like NATO is alleging. So what do you guys say? Even though right among them, the NATO people, the Spanish Prime Minister, Spain too is part of NATO. The Spanish Prime Minister said NATO should also make it clear what they are doing. There should not be double standard. And he said he urged ceasefire in Gaza to alleviate human catastrophe. This is coming from the Spanish Prime Minister yesterday, while the other NATO members were saying China is also a decisive enabler in this war. Yeah. So, guys, let me hear what you have to say before we play some other clips from...
Yes.
Go ahead.
The accusation seems to me very, very puerile, coming from NATO, and I think that accusation, that finger should actually be pointing at NATO rather than China. Instead of finding a way to stop the carnage that is happening in Ukraine and in Gaza, they are busy pointing at accusing fingers. Now I hope the mentality of NATO is not being overridden by the state of health of Biden, because Biden has become so geriatric. I don't understand why he's even making any statements. That is because he should be with his grandchildren playing rather than interfering in world affairs.
Okay. Godwin, I know you say yes. Tell us, what do you think? NATO saying that
you know what I'll say, because I say the truth and you know the truth. I think the truth is usually the most glaring and clearest, so everyone knows. Okay, so I'll start by saying that sometimes when these people talk, I just wonder, like, maybe I should stop reading. I should stop, anything very educational, because I think if I stop, I will still be better off than many of them, because the utterances they make is very, 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 very appalling for someone at that level. Look at somebody saying that a human being that is educated and in a high level of position saying that China is an enabler of Russia. Two countries that have an annual trade that is over $240 billion. And it's not that it's static, it's dynamic, increasing. For example, annualized rate of China to Russia has been increasing by 94% annualized every year, while Russia to China has been increasing by 68% every year. And somehow you think like it's news. It should be something new, something extraordinary, that China will be a massive influence and enabler in anything that Russia is doing. It's impossible. You have to absolute switch off your brain to think otherwise. So it's not news. It's not something that an illiterate that wants to make news should say. Secondly, the double standard. NATO is supplying Ukraine. How then do they have an issue with not the Russia allies supplying them Russia? What is the issue? I cannot understand. The number three is, as the Spanish minister rightly pointed out, and the Israel-Gaza conflict. In this case, Israel is the one who, whether they call it self-defense or self-offense, but is the one actually invading Gaza. And they are fine with it, supporting, even helping in defense by shooting down Hamas rocket and Hezbollah rocket. you know, and being taking active part in the active offense and defense. And then we talk about the total amount of wars that has occurred since the Second World War. NATO has done and managed or operated the most amount of wars in every single decade, especially the one they just did with Zambia and just bombed them and changed the border. They do it without care. So if we're speaking about the moral high ground and the tradition of peace, it still shouldn't be coming from NATO as a offensive organization, not just defensive. So I think that we should welcome the fact that China and Russia are cooperating, because I welcome cooperation between any two countries, because cooperation means that there's less likelihood of war, there's less likelihood of conflict. It's improving the lives of the citizens of these two countries that are coming. If you care about global poverty, if you care about reducing trade barriers, if you care about preventing mass immigration and trafficking, why would you not support two countries?
Thank you very much. Okay, so there you go. You just put it out there. Well, let's come also to yesterday. Also, in that event, other interesting things were happening. I know some of these might sound a little bit like gossip mongering, but well, it's something to also say. So yesterday, the president of the United States made a very good speech, but he ended it by referring to the young man, the Ukrainian president, as Putin. So he said, ladies and gentlemen, President Putin, and he was referring to Ukraine leader. So that got everybody talking, coupled with the fact that he's under some kind of intense scrutiny about his age, fitness, coherency, and all that. Now, in that big stage, he's making this big blunder again. Gentlemen, I don't know how you see this. Then on top of that, some of his financiers, the Democrat financiers like George Clooney, a movie actor, and some other group of people, they've come together and said he should...
George Soros as well.
Yes, Soros. They said he should withdraw from the presidential race. Raji, let's take it one by one.
Yes.
The man made a blunder.
About that slip, you know, Putin and Zelensky bear the same first names. They are both Vladimir, just that linguistic differences.
Let's hear that slip.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President.
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
Yes,
Raji, I don't agree with you. You can't
let me finish.
Okay, Raji.
At his age, the neural networks are quite hardened, so that by the time a message comes in, it's likely that you are even while you are trying to say somebody's name, the similarities will come in, and because both of them are President Vladimir, by the time he's able to put all things together in the neural at his age, it's likely to mix things up. And it's very, very easy for him. It may be within a fraction of a second before he realizes that he has called Putin instead of Zelensky. So
but now,
it is his age. It is an age. It is an age issue.
He called Putin. He didn't call Dalma. Now Putin doesn't.
All those things have been before the things transmission. The transmission link is impaired. So that by the time he was trying to pronounce Zelensky, Putin has come in. It is an age problem. That's why he shouldn't. That's why everybody who is supporting him for president is worried. because
Good.
at this age, he's likely to mix things up.
Very good. So that's why we really think withdrawing and stepping down for a younger person will be a good idea.
Can I add something to the? Can I add something?
Okay.
So first of all, let me make a distinction. His name is Volodymyr. That's Ukraine. And Ukraine, why in Russian is Vladimir.
Yes, it should.
Yeah, Volodymyr and Vladimir. They have the same meaning. Ironically, in the case of what's going on, ironically, Vladimir means ruler of peace, ruler of the world. Yeah, ruler of peace, ruler of the world. But unfortunately, we are seeing conflict between headed by the two Vladimirs. It's not because the name was similar, but I believe it could be a trigger to Biden's flop. But I think it's basically his age and his chronic, degradation upstairs. But I mean, in terms of performance, maybe all is fine, but at least it seems that way. And I respect him as he's the people's choice. So I reserve any really negative criticism. Whatever the American people choose, we learn to respect it and work with it.
That's it. No, we no criticism. We're just being factual. I mean, it happened right there in the public forum, and I mean, this is one too many of such blunders.
Yes. Going with Godwin, the choice has not been made yet. The choice is not being the process of choice is coming up, and then his supporters are saying that, look, we can't put you out as a choice. If you put you out as a choice and you are going against Trump is going to trump him.
Seriously.
Going to trump him.
Okay.
Because Americans will look for a macho.
Yes, so let's come.
I don't think anybody doubts that, but there are people who say from Democratic camp who say they rather choose a senile man over a con man or something like all these. They invent to suit themselves and rob themselves on the back.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. George is not here, but let me just do this as a news. We might not talk much on it. It's a Canadian serial killer that has been found, and he killed about 4 women in Canada, in a small town in Canada. I thought George would be here to tell us how that story went. Also, there's a story about Zelensky. Yesterday, again, he said they are confident that Ukraine will one day enter NATO. He made this comment yesterday, saying with all confidence that one day he hopes Ukraine will enter NATO. Also, yesterday
that day will be far in the future in his imagination.
It's not even Ukraine joining NATO that's the problem. Like a lot of people don't understand that Ukraine can join NATO, but what Ukraine? If I name my village in Nigeria, Ukraine, is it that Ukraine is going to join NATO? The point is that Ukraine is being dissected. Russia has already taken 20%. NATO wants to take the western part, that's the part, the Lvov part, and Poland has been calling for a no-fly zone. After establishment of no-fly zone, it will be occupation and annexation, the next step. So Ukraine is going to be, is what part of Ukraine will join it? Is it the Lvov part, just maybe 10%? And then Ukraine has been quantified by economists around the world in terms of its monetary value, in terms of resources. Russia already has half of the resources of Ukraine in terms of monetary value. So what part of Ukraine is going to join? So that's the question.
That's the question. That's the question. That's the question. Okay, gentlemen. So also let's look at something that yesterday I was wondering what is happening. A Ugandan TikToker has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for what they said was defaming the president of Uganda. Museveni. So my talk here is, when do African leaders draw the line between what they claim to be defilement or defamation, and when citizens are given a check on their leadership? Because everything now seems like defamation. When you talk, they'll say, no, go and arrest him. He's saying things again, you know. And I mean, here in the West, for example, people say anything to their leaders, and sometimes those things could be punchlines for correct. Go ahead.
Massive Mark, will you be surprised to know that more people have been arrested for their participation on the internet than they have happened in Russia? Will you believe that? Oh, this is just one instance of what is happening in Africa, and then we are blowing it into a hurricane. More people are arrested for what they say on the social media. So even in England.
Closed.
Yeah, so Godwin, it's on people like me and you and Raji and all of us here in SSM to begin to call some of this. I mean, you can't just say something and they come and pick you up, lock you 6 years because you said something.
Close your account, terminate your channel. You just
terminate your channel and all that. So it's wrong. I mean, and they will say freedom of speech.
No. What I say, Mr. Mark, hasn't YouTube closed your account at some point? For whatever you said,
for nothing, no. And all I said was
yes. So what are you saying about this young man who's been?
What about me?
No, man. No, yes, Godwin, your own is small. My own, it was with 125K followers, and boom.
Yes. Which is worse?
This young man's own. Why I'm annoyed is what he said are exactly the problem the president is facing. These are things, his shortcomings. And the man just said it on TikTok, and they came next day, and now he's going 6 years for it. Can you imagine?
Yes, I mean, it's regrettable, but my point is that it's why we condemn the fact that he's arrested for just saying something on the internet. We also have to throw more like that big tech, especially big Western big tech, is a much bigger problem than what is going on in African countries. We also have to understand that there has to be respect for leaders and people's choice. While there's freedom of speech, constructive criticism, you shouldn't at any point in time. I really do not support when people come out and insult leaders, insult people who are representative of the people. I mean, but all the same, it doesn't mean you should take them down. But at the same time, you have to kind of like make it known that there's some kind of ethics. There's a way to talk. There are some guidelines to talk, but you shouldn't take people off for expressing themselves on the internet. That is unacceptable.
Thank you very much. On that note, gentlemen, while we're rounding up the program, let's once again talk about a few minutes. So the photo you see there is called Mokoro. That's the husband to one of our SSM board of trustee, Obuks. This is Obuk's husband, and he sadly passed away last time. I think that was I'm trying to look at the date, sometime in May. And today they are having the service of song, some program paying tribute in memory of him. There's a video here. That's a video of the venue where it's happening, right there at in Lagos, Apapa, Lagos. The event, farewell service to the man, and some of our correspondents are there. We have BD Nana giving us real-time clips, visuals of what is happening. We want to thank BD for being there.
God is with them, and He will dwell with them, and they fountain of the water of life.
And that's Hebrew. That's Opu. That's the wife of the man. Okay, so on that note, want to say our condolence to the family. We pray everybody that the broken hearts are healed. God see them through. God knows why this has happened, but all we can say is let peace take over their heart, and let the family understand that he's in a better place somehow. Yes, where he is now is a better place. I mean, no strife, no war, no bickering, no fight, no nothing. You're there with your maker, and you're there in peace. So on this note, gentlemen, Raji, Lagos, Nigeria,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for coming.
Pleasure.
Godwin, we had other things to discuss, but I think our time ran out very fast. But you guys have said it all. Thank you for putting your views and your take on these issues. So until we come again next week, have a beautiful weekend. Raji, if you can be at Apapa, it will be nice. If you can be, but if you can't, it's okay. Also, listen, before we go out, Raji and Godwin, there's a man we need to say happy birthday to. Happy birthday to this great man. That is the man they call Olu Jacobs. Olu Jacob is a Nigerian movie actor. These are the pioneers of movie making in Nigeria.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome actor.
Yes, awesome. Legendary. So Olu Jacob was yesterday he was 82 years old, and full name is Olu Dotun Jacobs. We want to say, Olu Jacob, happy birthday to you. We appreciate all you did in the Nigerian entertainment space. You are the godfather of acting Nollywood, along with Pate Odeche. So happy birthday from SSM, and to the wife, to the family. May God bless you as you leave to see what you have started. This beautiful thing you've started has grown to become a big enterprise. So that's Olu Jacob. Happy birthday to you. Yes. Guys, do you have anything to say? Raji?
In fact, I have special thanks and appreciation for Joke Silva, his wife, who has taken good care of this awesome gentleman. May God continue to be glorious to both of them, and we wish Olu Jacobs much more improvement in his health, and a very, very special happy birthday to him. There have been rumors of his death, but I think the more they rumor about his death, the stronger he becomes.
Don't mind those rumors. Godwin, what do you have for Olu Jacobs?
I wish him a happy birthday. I wish him good health, long life, more blessings, more recognition, more achievements, more success. And I wish him a lot of fun today as he spends it with his loved one and family.
Wow. Thank you, guys. Viewers, you heard it. We have sent our own wish to the great man, King. He's a legend, Olu Jacob. Awesome. Happy birthday to you, sir. On that note, we say ciao to everybody. Thank you, Godwin. Thank you, Raji. Until we come again next week. Have a beautiful weekend.
Have a nice weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand